Today is a joint press conference of Abia Student Community in the state. Before we proceed to the major reason why I'm here today, I think it's quite important that we introduce the powerful delegate here today. We have Council of ASUU President, the ASUU President of Michael University, Choose, is here with us. We have the ASUU President of Abia State University, just here with us, called Eme. And we have the Student Ambassador, Student Community in Abia State, from Pascal Eme Orji, is duly here. And we'll also be represented by the stakeholder, who is also here, stakeholder forum, Comrade CJ is here with us. And we also have the National Association of Abia State Students, NANS Worldwide, who is also represented by the Secretary General, Comrade Chinamsu is also here with us. We also have NAOS, University Students, the Vice President is also here with us, Comrade Obioma is here with us. And we have student leaders from Abia State University. All leaders here present, and we also have one of us, James Daniel, who is the leader of all the disabled, a very strong comrade is here with us. Let me rely on the Road Style Protocol. My name is Comrade Frank Eme Orji. I'm the Zonal Secretary General of NANS Zone F, the new zone, Southeast to be precise, of the greatest Bosa. Gentlemen of the press, I greet you all. We are here today to discuss pertinent issues. Firstly, state of campuses, not only in Abia State, but also in Nigeria as the case may be. It is quite unfortunate that Nigerian students in various campuses are facing a very pathetic issue as the case may be regarding the ASUU strike, which has made various Nigerian students, not only in Abia State, even in Nigeria as the case may be, most of them have been faced with a whole lot of challenges, because it is said that an idle man is also a devil's workshop. Well, at this juncture, calling on the federal government to do the needful. It's quite unfortunate that we'll have a whole lot of them who are not concerned about student welfareism. If you come to the state today, it's called that there are a lot of politicians today celebrating their children because they are all schooling abroad. Coming down to Nigeria, we'll have a whole lot of parents and most students who are also training themselves. Most of them are unable to afford some certain bills to take care of themselves abroad. That's why the government is not even interested about what is happening. So we are calling on the federal government to come to our plea. It is quite unfortunate that in a time like this, ASUU has embarked on strike. Nothing reasonable has been said or done about these things. And tomorrow you keep on telling us that we are the future leaders. We believe that we are also today leaders as the case may be. We are using this medium to join our voices to call on the federal government to do the needful. Quite importantly, we have a very sensitive issue as the case may be, which has also given a major concern to the student community, passers-by, and any other person that also have conscience. We had a very serious cases where student community, students from Abia State University, were kidnapped. Ransom were also paid. It is quite unfortunate that we are in this present generation to the first century. Some persons are being kidnapped and nothing has been done to ensure that such certain menace are being taken care of. I must at this juncture also to also commend the government of Abia State, because I know that we've been able to also engage them critically and otherwise. We also learned that they've also initiated a lot of processes to ensure that the needful is done. But I also want them to also step up, to also encourage the security agencies. Because if you are coming to that route as you speak, it's discovered that this man has even taken it as if it's not a job. We also had the news of a pre-led being kidnapped, and a ransom of 100 million naira was paid. If such persons are being kidnapped, how much more of some persons that are being poor, they can't afford all those money? What is their fate? So we are calling on the government, even though we've learned they are doing something about it, to also try as much as they can to hasten it up, so that the lives of students should not be taken for granted. We believe that security should be taken care of. We also know that they have local security agencies, town hall, as the case may be. We're calling on the government and those to come down so that all hands should be on deck to ensure that the needful is done. Let me also use the opportunity to also reach out to our leaders, irrespective of their political parties affiliation as the case may be. We have the senator representing Abia North District, Senator Ojus Okalo is a senator representing Abia North. We also have Honorable Umunneochi representing Umunneochi / Isukwato Federal Constituency. We have Barrister Emeka Okorafor. We have okay. These are House State members and federal senatorial. All these persons are coming from Abia North. I want to also use the opportunity to also call upon on them. They should not say because it is Abia State, they should relieve all the responsibilities to Abia State government, even though they also needed to do the needful. All hands should be on them. This is Abia North. If the student community are facing this kind of challenges, it is quite unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that most of them are just interested about the election. Their only interest is to know how to come back and do this or do that. But there are priorities that shouldn't be taken for granted. We are calling on all our leaders, irrespective of whatever party as the case may be, even though they are also thinking, aspiring to govern the state as the case may be. They should come back. They should come back together and join heads together to ensure that this particular insecurity should be taken care of. We cannot be talking about the election in Abia State, election in Civic, when there are sensitive matters at hand. We keep on hearing news, we keep on hearing threats that if the kidnapping case is not being stopped, this and that will happen. We're appealing on them to come. The road is very bad. They should also come and do collective measures on that road so that the student community will enjoy their stay. You cannot be a student and you are learning with fear. You cannot be a student and you also have this in mind that if you want to travel, your life is equally at risk. At the same time, also calling on them to also assist the management of Abia State University, because we've been able to engage with them critically and otherwise. They also need help. I know they've also done their own needful to ensure that the needful is done. We're calling on the government, the federal government, and all these our leaders representing in Abia North to come back. Otherwise, the Nigerian students will be left with no other option to exercise our constitutional franchise, which will be a very massive protest. And we are giving them 7 days from now. If nothing is done, it will be unfortunate for us to allow Nigerian students to come down to the streets. We are going to do it in a way that the government of the day, of the federal, will understand the power of Nigerian students, of the greatest Boza. At this juncture, we'll have the ASUU president of Abia State University, who is directly involved and affected. I want him to say 1 or 2 things briefly with 1 minute, after which the president of Umunneochi University will also say 1 or 2 things. Of the greatest Boza.
Of the greatest Boza. My leader have said so much, and I think he has said it all. But I want to rely on what he has said. This insecurity issue is one of the major issues that is affecting the lives of Abia State students particularly, as well as other residents within that Abia State community, Abia State University community. I want to call on the government to please tackle that incident swiftly. We want to appreciate the governor for how much he has done, and also my amiable Vice Chancellor, distinguished Professor Maxwell Eme Orji, for his efforts so far. But we all must know that insecurity is a national problem and it requires a collective responsibility to tackle it. So I'm calling upon all stakeholders, political stakeholders, the leaders in the state, or every single person to join hands together and flush out all those bandits who don't relent in causing mayhem in that region. So please, please and please, we Abia State students, we are joining one voice to say, please come to our rescue. That place is a very strategic area. That place is the place that connects students from different parts of the world to the university. The case of security, I would say, to a great extent, it's in the exclusive list and partly in the concurrent list. And that requires that the federal government has a very, very great role to play, because I'm sure it's not the state government that controls the army. So it comes from the federal, and also the state also has a part to play. So we are also calling on the federal government to do the needful. We're also appealing to the state government to do more than he has done. We know that he has done, we know that he has tried. So we ask him to please help us. This election period, we don't have to live chasing, doing the needful and be chasing political power and all that. We, the students, we know the people who are helping us. We know the people who are doing the needful for us. And we are calling upon them to brace up to tackle this issue collectively, because it is everybody's responsibility. I also want to use this medium to appeal to the government and the ASUU to do the needful and call off the strike. We are tired, and we are tired. This strike has caused a lot of issues. Some persons are training themselves. These lodges that are in campuses, the time is going, nobody's staying there. Tomorrow, some persons who are training themselves will still go and pay huge amount of money. Some persons who don't have parents, a lot of persons are living average lives, and it's very unbearable. This strike is causing a lot of issues and problems for we, the students. So we are calling upon them to do the needful as soon as possible. Thank you.
It has been on our neck, and we have been crying so much regarding the ASUU strike. So many of our students have been at home. Some of them have nothing doing, and some of them have been roaming about. And all these things may lead our students to involve themselves in one issue or another. The federal government should see this as an important duty to take up. They should make sure that our students are back on campus. They should make sure that the students get back to school, because this is very, very important. The federal government should see education as very important. They should see education as something that our students need. They should see education as something that they should take serious. For a very long time, over 4 months, we have been at home doing nothing, and we have been pleading and we have been asking the federal government to liaise with ASUU so that they can call off this strike. It is so painful. So many of our students who must have paid their rents, some of them are now crying because they will have to pay another rent. So many of us that stay in places that we pay our money, maybe to earn money or do any other thing. Those of us that do business on campuses, those things are money which we invested to help ourselves, those students that help themselves in school. These are things that they will pay again, and these are things that will be another problem for them. And most of us that have been at home, even going back to school, you will find it difficult, because you will still read and read before you get things done. Because if you keep on being dull, if you keep on not concentrating in your field, when you get back to it, it will be a disturbance to you. The federal government, we are pleading that they should do the needful so that our students will get back to their campuses. And another thing I want to touch light is regarding the security issues of our students. We are of recent, I just got informed that few of our students and a lecturer were kidnapped along that Uturu axis. But though God being so faithful, they have been released, and we appreciate God on that. We are pleading and we are calling on the federal government, the state government, and whosoever that need to get this done to help us and take our security very, very important. And we are having issues at the axis of Olokoro down to our back gate, and some of these issues of insecurity have been coming up, kidnapping and all sorts of things. And I also appreciate my vice chancellor, who have been trying his best to make sure he lock up that axis by putting gates. I so much appreciate that. But Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, being a federal institution, we are pleading that they should take this as very important. They should make sure that they take care of this, and they should make sure that our students' life are very, very important. We are here to study. We are not here to be kidnapped. We are not here to stay at home. We are called students to study. Thank you so much. I remember my humble self, Comrade Chukwuma Ogochukwu, SUG President, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umunneochi.
We are joining our voice together as a joint press conference today to ensure that the needful is done. Education is not a privilege, so long as Nigeria is concerned, but it is our privilege. Anybody saying that making education a priority in the country shouldn't be taken. If they're coming to tell us that they're coming up to tell us that it is maybe trying to impress us, it is our right to be educated. We are calling the federal government to do the needful. If you start asking questions, you discover that most of them, their children are not studying in Nigeria. Most of them are studying abroad. if you go online, discover that they are telling them congratulations, celebrating them. Whereas Nigerian students are passing through a lot. Tomorrow you say that students are involved in one or two things. Just the Nigerian students are very much peaceful. At this juncture, I'm also encouraging Nigerian students to ensure that they get their PVC. If you are a leader, you are this or that, and you failed in your responsibility to do the needful, you failed your responsibility to come back and ensure that things are working perfectly well. Not coming on every time election is very close to say a whole lot of things, to make campaign promises that at the end of the day will not be fulfilled. Students should also take PVCs very serious. Get your PVC and vote in the right leaders as the case may be. If you are a leader and you are canvassing for support, promising that whenever you become, that you will do positive this and that, they should also rely on our leaders' antecedents as the case may be. Anybody who has the heart to do, you do not even need any position. So if you have our leaders there, they should come back and do the needful. Otherwise, the student community in Abia State have remained very peaceful, committed, and coordinated across all board. We have no other option to also exercise our constitutional franchise. At this juncture, we are joining us together to say we have 7 days from now. We will allow Nigerian students, even if who don't want to hijack it, will also help the process. We will be doing our needful to ensure that peace is maintained across all board. We are calling on them for all hands to be on deck, even the Insecurity and Umunneochi community. The ASUU and the town hall, they should also come together and talk about this matter. It's a very critical matter. Insecurity shouldn't be taken for granted. We believe that the needful have done. Obligated Bosa.
Bosa.
Obligated Wigi Waga.
Wigi Waga.
Kulu Kulu.
Temper.
The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja.